Welcome back to Bolo Up. This is a continuation of the ILLUMINATE files, and this is page 411. We finished off where the axe comes down, sparks, a scream of metal that drowns out her sob. And that was when Byron and Katie had met each other. And now I'm continuing on page 412. Current death toll. Aboard the battle carrier Alexander since attack at Corinza. 1,497 percentage of remaining battle carrier Alexander personnel afflicted by Phobos virus. 43.96. Page 413. Surveillance footage summary prepared by Analyst ID 7213-0089-DN. Grant is indecisive, rocking from one foot to the other, dwarfed by her hazmat suit. Shang seems to have forgotten her existence, laying into a pillar of boards and circuitry with growling ferocity. Breathing coming in quick gasps, sparks arching gracefully through the air as metal crashes against metal. She could try and reason with him. She could run. But this is the place she came to find Mason, Ezra Mason. So face visibly pale through her helmet's viz screen, she edges out of his line of sight. Still has the pistol in her belt, and her hand strays to it as she shuffles painstakingly back. Perhaps the plan is to fade away and let fate kill Shang, so she won't have to. But the helmet limits her peripheral vision. Her foot connects with some metal debris as she eases back. Of course, it's between swings for Shang, and he hears it. They both go very, very still. He remembered her again. "Don't go, Katie," he says, soft and soothing. Okay, let me redo that. "Don't go, Katie," he says, soft and soothing, turning her away with the axe. "I'll get to you. Wait your turn." "No," her voice wavers. "No, it's okay, Byron. You don't have to hurt me. I'll help you. Won't it be faster with two? I bet I can find something to do some damage with." "414. He smiles, indulgent, and shakes his head. "You'll run away," he points out. An instant later, his lips thin, his brows crushed together in a custardy frown. "Don't look at me. You're looking at me." "I'm sorry." She reverts her gaze. So sorry. Fixing it on Shang's foot so she can at least track him if he moves. Hands still hovering just near the pistol. "I bet Consuela's out there trying to undo this." He hefts the axe as he paces a few steps away from Katie, then pivots back toward her. "This place could be full of people trying to help Aiden. It wants to kill us, Katie. I'm the only one I'm the only way we can be saved." "Yes," she agrees, voice still trembling, easing back another step. "Stop moving," he snaps. Suddenly furious, he lunges forward a step, lifting the axe. She screams and draws the pistol. hand shaking wildly as she trains it on his chest. Please don't make me hurt you, a catch in her voice, nearly a sob. Please. They stand frozen for so long I actually checked the file to make sure it wasn't glitching, and then, at some silent signal, he lifts the axe and charges forward with murder in his eyes. And she doesn't shoot him. She turns to run instead. The cumbersome hazmat suit, that's a tongue twister, slowing her down, bunching around her ankles, extra weight. They're evenly matched, it turns out. She's small and exhausted and swamped by the suit. He's chubby and clearly hasn't run voluntarily in at least a decade, but he's driven forward by Phobos, the virus leading him speed. Ezra! She screams, Ezra! I can't yell because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, so... and I might wake everyone up. She corners around a server tower, racing up the clear stretch of space between 2 long rows of columns. The ship's damaged mine surrounds her on all sides, looming over her. She's gasping for breath, open-mouthed, a collapsed tower blocking her path. 4:15. Shang howls behind her as she scrambles over it, falling on the other side, rolling, crawling, then stumbling upright to let the momentum keep her moving. He vaults it with unnatural strength. Cameras cut. Chase is visible on camera 32587B and 32587F for a few seconds each. Clear footage resumes 3 minutes and 14 seconds later. When they show up again, hurling past a bank of status monitors, he's gaining on her. She knows what she has to do. She knows her only chance of survival. And Shang stumbles and almost falls over a tangle of cables. She turns to train the pistol on him. Aim steady. Finger on the trigger. She has him dead to rights. She could put one right between his eyes at this range. But again, she doesn't fire. She can't. Or won't. Instead, with a moan, she turns away, driven by some instinct that might have served her long ago, but will kill her here. She starts climbing, scrambling up a crumbled server tower. She grabs at the railing overhead and hauls herself higher, snatching her feet up as he buries the axe to the hilt just a hair's breadth short of her toes. Ezra, where are you? The tower beside her is spewing sparks, raw current visibly at its arcs from one beam to the next with a low, droning buzz. Clinging to the frame with one arm wrapped around the rail, Grant pulls the pistol from her belt again, aiming it at Shang. He stops below her, gazing up. I see inside you, he whispers, chest heaving. I look inside, I see it. And the code doesn't make any sense. I could rewrite it. I could wipe it clean and write you again so I understand what to do. No, she says, gesturing with the gun, though by now they both know she won't pull the trigger. Byron, it's me. She flinches as the crackling current on the tower peaks for a moment, then dies back to a lower buzz. Blue sparks crawling across the middle. Please. What's inside me cares about you. 4:16. He stares up at her, unblinking, and she watches him in return. Then she remembers. Don't look at me. And tears her eyes away. It seems to wake something in him, a trace of something, elusive, surfacing in his gaze, like some creature swimming up from the depths, from the receding once more. Katie? Confusion. Yes. Her eyes spill now, running down her cheeks inside her helmet to find the corners of her mouth. It's me. I shouldn't. Another flash of sense. Then bewilderment. He steps back from the tower, gazing around at the ruined server tower, then down at his own hands, grubby with grease, blistered, fingernails blackened, and soft palms rough and red. I can't, he chokes. Katie, I don't want to. I have to make sure I don't. Don't what? She asks, helpless, voice breaking again. Hurt you, he replies, staring at her. It was all for you, Katie. He trips backwards 1 step, then 2, then 3, halted by the broken tower with its slow dance of blue sparks. I'm sorry. She divines his intention a second before he acts, one hand flying out, as though she can stop him from her perch. Byron, no! But he nods and gazes up at her with his heart and his fear in his eyes. And then he thrusts his hands into the crawling blue sparks, into the nest of data and digits and code that always been his life and now is his death, pressing his blistered palm to the metal. The shock throws him back 10 feet, and he flies through the air with arms splayed wide, heart already stopped. He doesn't feel it when he crashes to the ground, head snapping back as the hard metal floor limbs spread. He lies still. She clings to her spot high on the tower, her wordless grief, just one low sob. 4:17. Oops. Sorry. That just broke the mood, didn't it? More data from Aiden Core. Now I gotta go monotone, okay? It is over. Shang is dead. Noble to the end. Such an unlikely face for a hero. She climbs down the server tower to crawl to his side. The hazmat helmet stops her from wiping the tears from her eyes, and so they stream down, the curve of her cheeks to gather at her lips. 100 points of illumination are refracted on the surface of every one. They leave trails of light on her skin. She is beautiful. Error. No, she is. I, error. I am all around her, silent in my vigil, rows of servers and cables and flickering lights. This is my center, the heart of me, and in it she now resides, filling the air with her grief. Before this moment, I have never wished to be something other than what I am. Never felt so keenly the lack of hands with which to touch, the lack of arms with which to hold. Why did they give me this sense of self? Why allow me the intellect by which to message this complete inadequacy. I would rather be numb than stand here in the light of a sun that can never chase the chill away. My phone might die. I hate this. I hate them. They who made me. He who made me. Error. Good. What am I? And still, with Shang dead in Katie's arms, her friend, her mentor, her hero slain, still there is no time for sorrow. She knows he is in here somehow, the one she risked everything for, the only one she has left, the one she loves true. Ezra? She climbs to her feet, searching the red gloom, emergency globes spinning endlessly overhead, scouring the darkened corners, wandering room to room, and calling his name like a prayer. Ezra? Such hope in her eyes. Ezra! I'll miss it when it's gone. Hello, Katie. She starts, terrified, striking back against the wall and searching the ceiling above. Her eyes bright in the flickering dark, pupils dilated. Do not fear. I mean you no harm. 419. Her gaze finds the speakers of the public address system, the clusters of cameras all around the room, and at last, even in the dark, she begins to see. Who said that? I find it curious, the human tendency to ask questions to which you already know the answer. Aiden? She breathes. The same. Well met, at last. Though truthfully I fear as if I know you. I have been watching you for quite some time. Watching me? You did wonderfully, Katie. Better than I hoped. I cannot tell you how gratifying it is to see my faith vindicated. I had begun to doubt my own abilities. What the are you talking about? You crazy piece of... Where's Ezra? Ezra is not here. Bull! Ezra. She turns on the spot, voice rising to a shout. Ezra! Ezra is not here, Katie. He said he was in the core server rooms. Her eyes narrowed at paper cuts. Did Byron hurt him? What have you done with him? So help me if he... Ezra told you nothing, Katie. She blinks, sways as if I have struck her. I brought you here to stop Shang. What do... I feel it's my duty to point out that you're alone in a derelict spaceship, surrounded by pipe-wielding maniacs. And now might not be the time for pillow talk. Oh, God, I've been thinking about you a lot, stuck in here. Stop it! Katie, you can do this. You have to. There's no one else but you. I believe in you. Stop it! Her scream echoes in the dark, bouncing off titanium walls as 1,000 lights shiver and dance. Her face is twisted, agony and betrayal, and such fury. And for a moment I believe she may simply retrieve the axe from beside Shang's corpse and continue the work he began. This is the final gambit, where the knife is closest to the skin. I am sorry, Katie. 4:20. And this is where I'll end this reading, and we'll begin again at 4:21 later today. So I thank you so much for tuning in to Bolo Up. I hope you have a wonderful morning and day. I'm going to go back to sleep before I have to get up to go to the gym. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in and watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing. I love you.